17 years nearly to the week from the very first public meeting was held in Clonus in relation to setting up a Gaelscoil.
But this is such a transformation here. This is nothing short of a miracle, this school, even seeing it from the front, seeing the photographs, and then when you get inside and see the enormity, by comparison to the old school, the enormity of the rooms inside is terrific. And it's a pleasure to be associated with it.
A warm welcome to everyone here today on what is a very special day for Gaelscoil Eois as we gather to officially open our new school building. The first part of today's celebrations will consist of a number of short speeches by those involved in our school. Following a few words from myself, a number of contributors will take to the podium. Brian McCood, a founding member of our school, Caithfearla of the Board of Management in the early days, and current Caithfearla of Caution the Dishmaharí and father of Tomás, or Mossy as he's better known. Evan Ugonal then will take to the podium, former chairperson, our present treasurer and mother of Hugh in Rangatree. Brendan O'Duffy, present Caithfearla and driving force behind the move. And then we'll have Father Corrigan to bless our new school, and followed by that we'll have the cutting of the ribbon by Eleanor Nurahala, Harry MacDonald and Aina McCormick. Afterwards, you're invited to view our new school with music and refreshments provided. Acharja, today is a watershed moment in the short history of Gaelscoil Eois. It is difficult to fully comprehend the amount of time and effort that has been expended making our vision a reality. Gaelscoil Eois now proudly sits on a brand new site, centrally located to offer high quality primary education Trevan the Gaeilge to a much wider population. From tomorrow onwards, chat, excited laughter and song will be heard resonating from this site. From tomorrow onwards, your children will be learning in comfortable surroundings to the highest standards. From tomorrow onwards, the schoolyard will be a sea of red with dancing, playing, running and jumping, agus seo go léir déanta Trevan the Gaeilge. For many, the advantages of Gael Eois are already known. However, it is important for those considering Irish medium primary education for their child that these benefits are clearly stated. Irish and international research has shown that bilingual children are placed at a huge advantage regarding their ability to acquire third and subsequent foreign languages. In a globalised modern world, this skill is one which cannot be overstated. Allied to this are the linguistic, educational and social advantages which derive from Gael Eois. As you probably know by now, I'm not from County Monaghan. I hail from a large urban metropolitan area that is round the Farste, Cree Learn the Gaeltacht, in the heart of the Donegal Gaeltacht. Rugu agus tógu me le Gaeilge. Before moving to Monaghan, I spent numerous years teaching in a Gaelscoil in Ballymun in Dublin, Scotland Seachtaí. However, a country girl like me soon became tired of the bright lights of the city, and I decided I needed a new challenge. Off I went one July morning 2 years ago to Clunosh, a town I had never visited before. I did my interview in the Leonard Arms, which I have since learnt is the hub of all things social in the Clonus area. Needless to say, I was both delighted and honoured to be chosen as the new principal of Gaelscoil Eois. The similarities between working in Ballymun and Clonus are numerous. The obstacles of early morning traffic jams still exist in the form of tractors and cows. Blocks of flats and grey buildings are now green fields, and the smog associated with the city has been replaced by the fresh aroma of slurry. As I said, the transition has been seamless. Our new journey begins today. I am certain that with the support of parents, Board of Management and the wider Clonus community, Gaelscoil Eois will continue to grow and prosper over the coming years. Naturally, we will be faced with various challenges along the way. However, having seen what has been achieved in a very short period of time, I am confident, certain in fact, that our star will continue to rise. As the Irish Shanachal attests, the rare hela hoogter in the Cashla. Gurmila Mahigov Clare.
I'd like to thank the Cahiarloch, the Board of Management and Laura for the invitation to speak here today just in relation to Gaelscoil Eois, and it's, I suppose Laura says it's a short history, but it actually feels a wee bit long from where I'm standing. It's 17 years ago, just nearly to the week, from the very first public meeting was held in Clonus in relation to setting up a Gaelscoil. That took place in the Creighton, probably only about 15 or 20 people at it. But from that day, or that night, a committee was formed, work was set out to be done, and when we knew there was work involved in it, probably didn't know how much work was involved in it, and that might have been a good thing. But we got on with it, and we worked very hard, and for 5 months, we had 5 months to get it open in September of 1995, and that was done. Unfortunately, it was done without department recognition, so we had to fund for everything. And I know we still do a bit of fundraising, but at that time we were fundraising probably one event every 2 weeks, which certainly we don't want to go back to again. It's well behind us. But that's what the parents did. That was the commitment that was made. And you know, looking back on it, the people of this area that supported the school, that helped out with the fundraising, and the parents themselves that went out doing that fundraising deserve a huge amount of credit, because you know, it wasn't easy. There was numerous knocks along the way, setbacks that we had. You know, certainly the second year when we were completely convinced that recognition would come and department funding would come, and then it didn't. And it didn't by a week before it. We were told a week before we reopened in September. So that was a huge setback. But once again, the parents, you know, seeing that as what it was just a setback. We need to move on. We did move on. We went ahead. We opened in September again in '96. And by about October, we took the Minister for Education and the Department of Education to the High Court. And we won. And we got recognition. And we got funding. And things became easier. Now, probably didn't become as easy as we'd like. There were still things we had to do. There was still work that had to be done. But we did that. We were in Lipton's shop as it is now. It was a disused shop when we took it over. And that's where the first Gaelscoil started. We outgrew it within the 2 years. We moved out to Annakilly. The move to Annakilly was a huge step forward for us at the time, but then we outgrew it as well. We probably took longer than we wanted it to outgrow it, but we eventually outgrew it, And now we're here standing in front of this absolutely fabulous building, a fabulous site to sit it on. The space, the facilities, everything our children have is just going to be brilliant, absolutely brilliant in the future, and they will benefit hugely from that. And I'd just like to thank a couple of people, say from the very first committee we had. You know, it was all volunteer work, all hard effort. It's not probably easy to pick out individuals, and it's probably not fair because there was so many people helped out. But there was two people I do think I should mention here and thank them specifically. And one of them was Myra Trainer, a mother of 3 children. All of them 3 children attended the school here. Myra put in huge hours, meetings in her house, meetings all over the place. She was always willing to turn her hand at anything to help the school. So, and I think she deserves recognition here today. So, Goramila Maigat Myra. And also another woman who, I have always got great benefit out of being part of this school because my children attend it, my children get the benefit of the education through Irish, so it's very easy for me to know why I do the work I do. Mary McDonald, who was also a member of the first committee, she was the treasurer on the first board of management and was there for about 8 years. Mary didn't have any children at the school, she was the independent representative on the board, and I think she deserves huge credit because she didn't have what we have is the knowledge of how our children were getting on so well, so that to give us the support to do the work. Yet she stuck with the school for 8 years. She worked all hours that was given, any question that was given over, she had the answer, and she worked very hard. So again, I'd like to say Goramila Maigat to Mary McDonald. But with all of that gone in the past, it's all done. We have worked through all these issues, all these setbacks, and we've come to where we are today. And as Laura said, I'm now chairperson of the Parents Committee, and that is a great honour to be there, and it's a brilliant time to be part of the Parents Committee. We have a brilliant spirit within the school. There's a brilliant energy there. There's more people willing to work for the school than we've ever had. And I mean, if we take even just last year when we organised the tractor reverse, for a small school to put on what we did, not only did it make money for the school, but it brought a lot of people together. It showed the school in a great light. It showed what we can do as a small group to go out and promote our school. And it's great to be part of it. And I would like to say here for all the parents, for everybody that's here now, we need not be shy about telling people how brilliant our school is. We have the opportunity now, we have the facilities, we can grow here, we're not going to be moving. We have the opportunity now to tell people just how good the education is in this school. And I think mostly very much down to the excellent teachers we have. We have 2 probably the best teachers in the country, and we have them in our school. And I tell you, we are very lucky to get them. So Goramila Maigat, Laura, August Michelle. Just, I suppose, the last couple of things is, you know, we have an extra room in there. We're going to have to fill it. I think it'll be very easy to fill it. I think the numbers will be there. When we get the numbers, it's an advantage again to our children. We get a 3rd teacher. The pupil-teacher ratio goes down for us for high. So we need to go out now and put the effort in and get that room filled as soon as humanly possible. And just, I suppose, on a final word, something over the 17 years, I've had many of occasion to speak about Gaelscoil Eois and been delighted to do that. And I'm getting credit for this, that and the other, and I'm delighted to take that credit. But I have to say, over them 17 years, I've never publicly said it, probably should have said it years ago, but I would like to thank my wife Bridget, who over them years, not only was she an active parent in it, I mean, she'd done the work as well. She was running around the country promoting our school as well. But she also had to put up with the fact that I'd drop everything and run and do things for the school and not be about. So, Goramila Maigat, Bridget. And then just finally, I want to thank the Board of Management again. This Board of Management, plus the previous one that went before, that really set and trained the motion of this move and doing the work, and there was huge work put into it. I think we're very lucky to have the people on the Board of Management that we have. I think we're very lucky the time and the effort that people put into it. We're lucky to be the beneficiaries of all of that. So I'd like to thank Brendan as Mark Cahirlock on board, Laura, Evelyn, agus na buil eile on board a chur iarracht mór isteach chun an scoil seo a chur an seo. Gur míle maith go leir.
Gur míle maith, Brian. I'll now welcome Evelyn up here to.
Ladies and gentlemen, Father, Corrigan, children, it is indeed a very happy day for us all. And as a member of the present Board of Management, I wish to reiterate Pre-Vigil Laura's August Brian's sentiments on this very historic day for our Gaelscoil Eois, and indeed Poist Eois. In thinking about what I wanted to say to you all today, one of my own children actually said, "Mom, you should begin in the following way. Barack Obama once said, 'Is Vager Lynn.' My colleagues and I believed it, and that is why we are all here today." I would compare this journey that I have travelled over the past 2 years to our Irish terrain, in that there were many ups and downs, and indeed some potholes as well. However, I commend my colleagues in staying with me over these past 2 years, and I would also like to take this opportunity to genuinely thank all board members for being so professional in how we teased out issues, how we overcame adversity, and at all times carefully considered how every decision made impacted on the education of the Nampóistí in the Gaelscoil. I cannot pay enough praise to past and present boards of management, all the teachers, the parents, the children and the wider community. You all applied a firm resolve to make this day actually happen. And on that note, I would like to speak directly to Nampóistí. Some weeks ago, children, our board actually wondered as to what important person should we actually invite to this wonderful historic day. And we quickly realised that it was actually you, the children, who are the most important part of our day, because you will continue in our native tongue to enrich the lives of others in our local community and society. So you know what? There's a bula bust for the children themselves. Now I want to ask you all one question. Do any of you recall what you were doing around the 15th of December 2009? Because I definitely do. That was the day that I was foisted, and I'm looking at Brita, the position of Cahirlock of our school. And I did so with trepidation. Why trepidation? Because after all, the school was doing quite well. But as Brian already has said, we had outgrown ourselves in Annakilly, and there was time for a move. And we pondered, I remember one evening, one Tranona, about where were we going to move to, and how we're actually going to do it. And when I say ponder one evening, we pondered quite a few evenings about that. And that is why I wondered, as Cahirlock, was I going to be the right person to lead that move? But a wise person once said to me, they said, "Evelyn, the key to success is to network." And that's exactly what I did. For I knocked on the door of one man, and that was Mr. Brendan O'Duffy. And thankfully that door was open. And in case some of you do not already know who Brendan O'Duffy is, he is a key driving force in fostering Irish medium education in this whole entire region and beyond. Brendan is a very resourceful and personable man, but he is also a very busy man, and he is presently involved in the establishment of his own school, Gaelscoil, on the Monaghan Education Campus. But despite all this, he has devoted a remarkable amount of time and energy into our project here. He is a constant visionary and strategic thinker, and his tenacious approach has helped us to get to where we are today. And so for this, we are indebted to you, Brendan O'Duffy. And by the way, me being ever the opportunist that I am, I quickly relinquished my post of Cahirlock to Brendan some months ago. And now that we have reached this significant place in the life of the Gaelscoil, I would like to emphasise to you all, as Brian rightly said, it really is incumbent on all of us now to continue to work together to ensure that our Gaelscoil grows. But I have no doubt that under the leadership of Pre-Vigil Laura, the able assistance of Moonshaw Michelle, and the support of Eilish and her staff in the Nínra, I know that we will indeed grow from strength to strength. You may be all aware that there is in fact a resurgence of the Irish language in recent years, and a research study undertaken by the University of Ulster has actually highlighted that people educated through Irish are, and I quote, better educated and have a significant advantage over non-Irish speakers in securing professional, managerial and technical jobs. So with that in mind, I would encourage each and every one of you to actively promote our Gaelscoil Eois and Posh Eois to every single one of your friends. Go míle mai agam. Go léir.
1995 was the year that Stephen Collins beat Chris Eubanks in boxing. It was the year that the Irish press closed down. The year that we voted in favour of divorce. The year that Bill Clinton addressed 80,000 people in College Square. The year that English soccer hooligans rioted at a friendly game in Lansdowne Road. The year that Dublin and Clare won the All-Ireland football and hurling finals respectively. The year that the pop charts were dominated by Celine Dion, Boyzone, Take That, U2 and Blur. But more importantly than all those events together was the birth of Gaelscoil Eois in that particular year. A committee was established at that first meeting, spearheaded by Brian McQuaid, and that name is synonymous with the school ever since, consistently linked with the school. As a visionary, as a parent, as a founder, Muradurch, Laura Hannafin, as chairperson of the early boards, not just one but a number of boards of management, and as chairperson of the present Parents Association. This application to set up the school was rejected on the basis that the department criteria hadn't been fulfilled, where they had 16 junior infants, whereas 20 was the criteria that was required by the department. That had serious implications for the school and for the committee spearheading it, in that that local committee was obliged to pay the teacher's salary, school transport, rent of the building, insurance and all the utility bills. Certainly this uncertainty led to a number of parents withdrawing their children from the school, and them believing that the possibility of fundraising £20,000 in a small area to sustain such a school wasn't feasible. However, when the school did open in September of '95, 16 families and 18 children between them were sent to Gaelscoil Eois. The parents sent a further application to the department in February 1996. An concoiste lig de céile arís, corset earthas uair, tilu anamnacha is ja aglorig ahantas than darna blia. And everybody was devastated in the school in July of that year when the Minister for Education at the time, Niamh Brathnach, again refused to grant recognition to the school, where although it appeared that all the criteria had been fulfilled by the school committee. The reason for the refusal of the department to sanction the school was that it was no longer acceptable to combine the junior infants from the first year with the junior infants for the coming year to achieve that figure of 20. Now this had previously been accepted practice, and at no time was Gaelscoil Eois or the Gaelscoilean movement informed to the contrary. In December 1996, the parents of Gaelscoil Eois were given leave to appeal to the High Court to challenge the Minister of Education's refusal to grant them provisional recognition. On the 6th of March of that year, 1997, the department reversed her earlier decision of the previous September and now granted recognition to Gaelscoil Eois in advance of the High Court action that was to be heard on the following Monday. The decision took effect from the 7th of April, the first day of the summer term, and a spokesperson for the Department of Education confirmed that Gaelscoil Eois had sought a judicial review of her previous decision but had now agreed to drop their legal action against the department in return for official recognition. In September 1997, the school moved from Lower Fermanagh Street out to the former Achille National School that had been vacant for the previous 22 years. Almost 15 years later, on the 19th of March 2012, we returned to Clonus Town and we find ourselves with this modern, spacious facility which can embrace the growth of the school that the Board of Management anticipates. The primary education landscape has changed dramatically since Gaelscoil Eois was founded in 1995. The curriculum has been totally transformed. Teachers have to have their qualifications registered by the Teaching Council. An abundance of policies govern every aspect of school life. Enormous progress has been made in learning support and in special education. Literacy and numeracy initiatives have been introduced to improve these basic skills. Whole school inspections, forensically carried out by departmental inspectors, are commonplace. A national debate has been initiated on the patronage of schools to reflect the diversity that now exists in Irish society. Smaller schools feel threatened as the pupil-teacher ratio increases. The major positive growth area in the last 15 years in Irish primary school education has been the growth in Gaelscoil, despite limited state support. I am delighted, of course, as chairperson of the Board of Management with the appointment of Lauren Ukraine as principal in 2010. I welcome the additional resource and learning support hours that will be available to the school from September. The board will continue to grow our school population to ensure the appointment of a third teacher. The board will seek permanent recognition in the near future. The physical infrastructure of the school building in the form of this building has to be a positive move forward. The board is committed to providing the staff with the most modern resources available, as evidenced by the IT facilities within. As well as pursuing academic excellence, the school wishes to be a pleasant and pleasing experience for the children in our care. Hence the provision of the basketball court and the soft play ball area at the back. I'd ask Mr. Jerry Kelly, as a fellow Board of Management member, to come forward now. Agus an trúr Calín ó College de Oriel Cowilship. Annette Cowil and trúr Calín. No, trúr as College de Oriel. Gotcha Guineas Cowilship. My ship. On your behalf as parents, I pay a heartfelt tribute to the teachers, to Michelle and to Laura. Their enthusiasm, their competency and their tenacity that they have shown in the past, and their professionalism and the standards that they are achieving. So on your behalf, I thank them. I thank also my colleagues on the Board of Management. Now, I don't, I'm not sure, should there be a presentation being made to Evelyn, who will give me this role and push me into this additional work. However, we had made a pact, that we wouldn't mention each other's names, but she has broken the pact. So I feel that I must say a few words about Evelyn, who has been the driving force in promoting the school. She always is a source of inspiration to everybody associated with the school and gives in sound advice and encouragement, and is always available. So, Bawailam, I do sama area Michelle, agus an sin ar Laura, agus an sin Evelyn, Chak Danias, agus Lacula Brunny Bag, Yelanic symbol, the Wakus Uinge, agus Brunny, Jared, Anish, Nablahanish Arab. Beja, Mucha, Michelle, I do sama.
You're not used to this, Jerry.
My ship. Gonna need a mic. It's an ish. Dog Laura Scully Malaclea Vishan Runny Scullin Charter Lay, a well-established school, great infrastructure. She took a chance coming here. We want to fulfill her dreams. We want to you know, to support her in every way possible. She has a large circle of friends in Monaghan from she came here. She has a great relationship with the parents in the school. We appreciate those things. So, but while I'm Laura Hackney, it's for you. Evelyn Chactanias, who somebody called me the driving force behind this move. I would beg to disagree. I would say that Evelyn is the driving force to get back into town, to get a bigger building. So let the whole Gotchanias and Ish Evelyn for coming. Yeah, we're picking these farmers in Belgium. My ship. Gaelscoil Eois is surrounded by such professional expertise and parental support. It certainly has to have a bright future. This is the dawning of a new era for the school. Gramila Mike the Leaguers got a fat the booing ship.
Mike the Brendan. If I could just ask Maitre Michelle, we have a little presentation to make on Brendan. So tar ma Brendan. The Gaelior den to Gatain. Tom will get the written Chetel. Serious laughter in the cave in there. Brunton is big, the picture than Etchet the Cree. Picture the run the farce. The Charlie McGinley. Basla Shay, which picture down you small you better. But what's it? Lad Nollick and Shaw and Gaelscoil Eois here. It came all the way from Donegal this morning.
Something here.
Now, before we move on to the cutting of the ribbon and Father Corrigan is going to bless the school for us, I'd just like to have a few thank yous to say. I congratulate everybody involved in today's event. It is appropriate to thank all associated with today's ceremony, with Gaelscoil Eois and with the provision of these new premises, namely Padder McMahon, our photographer, Paddy McCabe, who's videoing the ceremony, Anne-Marie Agnew and Michael McKeown and Bus Aaron, who are facilitating the rerouting of the buses starting tomorrow morning. Declan Brogan, our landlord in Allakilly, where we spent many happy days. County Monaghan VEC and its CEO, Martin O'Brien, who has allowed us to locate our school here on the old Largy College site, and where we hope to have many happy days. Aidan Deegan and Aircom, the staff of Pashti Eois. Many thanks also to Intaspace Modular Buildings, who erected our building. To our main contractor, Mark Hughes, and his team, led by PJ McAleer, for an incredibly high standard of workmanship under considerable pressure at times over the past month. To the other specialised contractors from Wexford, Wicklow, Carlow, Fermanagh, Meath, Antrim and Monaghan. To our architect Owen Cunningham, to the staff of Monaghan County Council and Clonus Town Council, especially John McKiernan for their consistent cooperation. To our patron and Forest Patronachta and especially Kevin O'Hagra. To the staff and students in College Oriel who have helped out here today providing music, face painting and supervising the bouncing castles. To James Sheeran and the staff of the Leonard Arms for providing the sumptuous food that you will shortly avail of. To the parents, to Brian McGood and the Parents Association for their tremendous fundraising efforts over the past number of years, which they have raised over €25,000. And to Father Corrigan, who agreed to come here and bless our school. To Mr. Michelle for all her hard work, co-ebrew and friendship. And lastly, I'd just finally like to take this opportunity to thank two people personally. To Evelyn for an admirable contribution and commitment to this project. She along with Brendan have worked tirelessly to get here today. And finally, a personal thank you to Brendan for his determination and dedication in getting us to where we are today. Gaelscoil Eois will be forever indebted to him. Brendan, Gaelscoil Eois Oscailte, don lein seo, gur míle maithigad. And I'd just like to add that we'll have our open days next Wednesday and Thursday, the 28th and 29th of March, with an information night at 8 p.m. on the Thursday night, Thursday the 29th of March. So for any new children who would like to enrol in Gaelscoil Eois, please come and visit our facilities and see the goings on in the school during the day, and then we'll have an information night on Thursday the 29th. So first you should really pass now, Moira. And will the slippers agave? I must say, when I told them that of the date that we were moving and that they'd have to wear slippers, I think they were more excited about the slippers than they were of the impending move. So that's in German, they were slippery, Mark, agus biggie and am that was, Kerkeleor, agus chippy mit shiver modding. So we'd now pass over to Anther Padre Corrigan, who'll bless the school for us.
In anam nahar agus an vic is a spirit name. Gracia our gene is a Christ, agus grace, agus common and spirit name live golea. Agus lack is a spirit. Irimage a year, bannock a hodge doing, agus our skull new a shop. Mollick ditcha ar nahar ar now, reen a newel. Hock to the killam wedge con mollu a hodge ditcha, three ar mringra agus ang riu. Run do bannock ar skull new a shop, a hogmage the educas tre geriga a hodge down near oak. Banny ar nalty, ar winturi, or dishmi hori, or gakten a base a goblin shop. Goron skull shop more in it in a whale and fearinga, agna, seach, krejchup, trokra, graje, grachia, javin, agus falchu gakten agus spray, agus sport, a kahu, agus a kahu. Three of the gay park nefa, Shianak, August also, Grown Skull Shama Hampla, then Shiakan, Solis J, or Cotton of Fania, a lad of Pobble Shot. Ahar Onwin, Aislan Agri, after me three Christ to walk, or since the spirit name. God glory is on a ditcha a year, a niche August go bra. Gamage can a naha, mar a winner slani hot air yanu. Ar naha a car now, Ganefa Danam, Badaka the Real, the Yant the Hill, and an Halaf Marnita ar now. On the wrong leg will told you in a new, August Martin in our vehicle, but a Mahamajil of Vekuna Fin is a legacy of Gahu of Searsing Alcamen. A year, Banny and Skull Shaw, as got dinner a base a goblin shop. Nanam Naha of the big spirit name in there.
Jukla Eleanor, Aina, agus Harry hacht the bond, the question is Shinya, agus is Oigus a skull.